Thank you for joining me on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins. I'm your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, sharing my picks. Hopefully with my picks and your picks, we can definitely make some money. Last week, if you watched us for college football, week 7, we had a monster week, 92 units plus on that. Needless to say, the NFL took it away after college football gave it. They didn't take it all, but they came back and got there. So far this year, we're almost up 70 units for college and pro football. But we continue on with college football week 8. We did have a play on Wednesday. We had nothing yesterday, although should have probably took the under in the Virginia game. Contemplated, but didn't take it. On Wednesday, we had Georgia State +6 in the first half. That was a 6-unit win. We did have Georgia State +10 for the game. That was a loss as they could not do anything second half-wise offensively. And then we also had a 7-unit win for Georgia State over 13.5 the first quarter as they scored their 2 touchdowns early in the first to come home with the winner. For Friday night, we do have Western Kentucky minus the 2.5 and Western Kentucky -0.5 in the first half is where we grab those on DraftKings. A little bit earlier in the week. So we will have those going for Friday, and then we're going to basically head into Saturday on what we like there. And there's quite a bit that we like on Saturday, and we'll run through those with you for college football week 8. So we just went over the Western Kentucky stuff for Friday. Saturday, so we're going to hit the early games. Ohio State going against Iowa. That line seems to be right around 30 everywhere. We did grab it at 29, so Ohio State laying the 29 for a 5-unit play. We also loved them in the first half. We think this could be like a 28-0 in the first half. So -17.5 for a first half play on Ohio State for for an 8-unit play on there as well. So make sure you check those halftime lines for Ohio State. They have been bouncing around a little bit, even though the game's been stuck at 30. If you can get under 17.5 in the first half, I'd jump all over it twice. I'll put it to you that way. We also like a couple other bets on this same Ohio State game. We like Ohio State -7 in the first quarter. They're one of those teams that jump out early with a lot of offense, and Iowa has 0 offense. Their defense a little bit better, but not good enough to hold back this Ohio State offense. So we did take that for a 6-unit play. Then also we took over in the first quarter. This is the lowest first quarter total for Ohio State all season at 10.5, and that's due to the Iowa defense. So total over 10.5 first quarter. Ohio State -7 first quarter. Then we also have Ohio State -17.5 first half, and then -29 for the game. So definitely love Ohio State and love them big in this game here as we have multiple bets going on Ohio State. The next one we're going to go over is going to be Buffalo. They've been kind of like a betting favorite of ours. They've done really well. That line's at around 7 now. We did grab it at 7.5 earlier in the week for a 3-unit play. We really like Buffalo in the first half. They score early and often normally. So we did take them +4 in the first half for a 7-unit play on that one there. For a 6-unit play for 4 in the first half after a 3-unit play for the game. Also for Buffalo, we did like over 13.5 the first quarter total for a 3-unit play. So Buffalo we have plus in the first half, plus for the total game, and then also over 13.5 for the quarter total. Then we're going to get into the Texas-Oklahoma State game. And I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this one. The lines moved the opposite direction than what I anticipated. But I guess Oklahoma State, everybody believes they still have a defense. They definitely don't have the defense they did last year. And Texas can score with Quinn Ewers at quarterback. So we do have a couple total plays. We grabbed it at 62 for the game. It looks like you can get 61 now, but 62 for a 7-unit play. The part we like the best out of all college football this week is probably going to be the over 31 first half for a 10-unit play. Oklahoma State had a total of 34.5 last week, and I think they put up a total of 45 points combined for the first half. So we definitely like them. Texas can score early and often as well. So definitely think that's a great first half play. And then also over 62 for the first quarter. We also took the over 14 first quarter total. So we have the total in the first quarter, 14, 31 at half, and then 62 for the game. On the first quarter, we did take a 5-unit play on that one. Should be a competitive game. Both teams should score. So we should see would think a pretty easy cover on that one there. Then we're at Ole Miss, an LSU game. Obviously, the line is pretty deceptive there with LSU being favored. We did take Ole Miss +1 for just the first half for a 5-unit play on that one there. Then we got into Houston. We do like Houston this week. So we took them at -1.5 for the first half, -3 for the game. So when we grabbed them, but we do like Houston quite a bit. Central Michigan, same type of bet here, -6 for the game, -3.5 for the first half. 5-unit play on the half and 3 on the game. Ohio, we also like this weekend. Not Ohio, we like all the Ohio's, I guess. Ohio State and Ohio. We like them +1.5 in the first half, +3 for the game. We think Ohio's got a great shot to win this game outright. West Virginia, +7 is going to be another play that we have going against Texas Tech this weekend. We also like Louisiana Tech, +3.5. And then probably one of the most confusing games on the schedule, Oregon and UCLA. Like, I'm not sure how you play this. You play this the way Vegas doesn't want you to take it. So everything says take UCLA. They've looked fantastic. So we're going to go the opposite way here. We like Oregon -3.5 in the first half and -6 for the game. 8-unit play on the first half, 4 on the total game. We also like Liberty getting 4 in the first half and then getting 6.5 for the game. And then Stanford, we also like -3 for a 3-unit play. This weekend, that's a game they should probably win by 10+, I would think. Colorado State, we do like a couple of different things going on in the Colorado State game. We like a -4.5 for the game total. We're also going to take the under 46.5. We found at Caesars, and the under 24 in the first half. I know it's Colorado State. They have not looked great, but they are playing Hawaii. And neither team can really score, so we should see a lot of unders coming in here for Colorado State. Then we're going to take UCF, and the next play that we've got, we're going to take UCF -5 for a 3-unit play. Then TCU, in another big game for the Big 12 this weekend. We like TCU -2 in the first half and -3.5 for the game. 6-unit play on the half, 3 on the total on that one there. We kind of went over Buffalo. We liked first quarter. Georgia State, we hit that one earlier. Ohio State, obviously. Texas over 14 first quarter. We went over that one as we like them for the quarter, half, and the game. We do like Alabama over 14 the first quarter for an 8-unit play. They could score 21 points against Mississippi State. You know, that could be a shootout back and forth, or Alabama could just start running away with it early. But we do like the over 14 in the first quarter total. And then we like a couple unders in the first quarter. We like Stanford. We mentioned them a little bit earlier at the -3. We also like under 12.5 total first quarter. They start off slow, running game. Same thing with Marshall, 12.5 on the under total first quarter, another 5-unit play. That Alabama game, we went over 14 on the total for the first quarter. We like the over 31.5 total for the first half as well for a 4-unit play. We mentioned the UCLA-Oregon game. We think we're going to see a lot of scoring there. So we're going to take the over 34.5 first half with them and UCLA for a 3-unit play. Ole Miss, we talked about that a little bit earlier with the LSU. We liked Ole Miss in the first half. We also like Ole Miss over 30.5 total for the first half. So with them and LSU going over 30.5. Ohio State, we mentioned that we liked first quarter total. We also like the over first half total of 27. And then we're going to go back to the well for a small Clemson bet. We think they're going to run all over it again. They like to score. They score a lot first half. Over 26.5 total first half. Thought that line was a little low, like it should have been 28 or maybe a little higher. So we'll go with the 26.5 there. And then we kind of mentioned already the Colorado State unders. So that's going to kind of give us a rundown of everything for college football. Obviously, we'll have the Google Sheet in the comments area if you want to take a look at that. Feel free to follow along as we go. Just to touch a little bit on the NFL, Thursday night was a typical Thursday night where we got to start in the hole, it seems like. Kamara, the first few rushes, it seemed like we were going to cover that over 64.5 rushing very easily as he hit the longest rush for us, but they didn't give him the ball enough. He didn't get his carries, therefore he missed the carry bet. He missed the over rushing bet. He did come back with a couple receptions late. That helped us secure the 98.5 rush plus receiving yards on that one there. And AJ Green, he did dress, he did play, I think, but under 25.5 yards receiving. And then Taysom Hill under 32.5 rushing yards. Those are kind of our wins. We do have quite a few plays for Sunday as well, and we're waiting for more player props to come out to kind of get the rest of those player props done, and then we'll have the NFL picks for you tomorrow to kind of mull those over going into Sunday. So as always, I wanted to thank you for joining me on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. If you could rate, review, or subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to us on, whether it be on the YouTube channel, you're listening to us on a podcast, through Apple or Google or Spotify, we greatly appreciate it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.